Going on to the good people? We here. We know we're not gonna mess around for too much longer. We here, and we're gonna have us a show. What's going on, everybody? Mic check, sound check. How we doing? Listen. I'm so. Hey, I was expecting my special guest, and it's just me and you. And so we're gonna make it do what it does. I was expecting my special guest, but we'll see how the show progresses. And so what I said I was gonna do, let me know. Looking good, sounding good. All right, let's dive into this. We no delay. Except for the opening. And so I said to myself, well, man, what if he doesn't show? What if he doesn't make it? And I said, well, I guess it's just gonna be me and the people. And me and the people gonna have some conversation. But then I said, wait a minute. This ain't one of them shows where stuff ain't really planned out. You know, I like to have stuff. I like to know what I'm going to be talking about. What's the focus for today's show? And I said, all right, look, I was expecting to have Charles Wallenfoot. So if you've been following YouTube for a little while, if you've been watching cigar content for a little while, that was why I got into the cigar content space. That's what I used to watch. I used to watch Charles Wallenfoot. And when I started, I shared the story. When I started, he reached out. He was one of the first ones that reached out, and yeah, I really appreciated that. So he started his channel, and he went through what you go through in YouTube. And so when I started, he shared with me and said, hey, look out. There's going to be some stuff. There's going to be some stuff happening. You don't know, it's going to be accepted. And so he gave me the game. And so I just took what he taught and ran with it. And so we'll see if he joins. I've been corresponding with him, but I know he's on the East Coast. So maybe something came up. So I said, you know what? I said, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to do? So I said, you know, how about we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly? And so what I was doing as we were getting ready, I was prepping. I said, okay, maybe I can show some clips of the good, the bad, and the ugly, and have it be all cinematic. And so I'm sitting here messing with the YouTubes and the technologies and then that's what I've been doing. So I've been sitting here for like 5 minutes trying to figure out how do I make this stuff work. So all right, we're just gonna get started. So listen, Charles Wallenfoot used to always talk about. In fact, I think he turned me on to the Prensado. So the Alec Bradley Prensado. So I said, all right, well tonight, since I was expecting him on, I said, let me smoke me the Alec Bradley Prensado. So I'm going to have me the Alec Bradley Prensado. This is old school. And so if you from the old school, back in the days, this is what we used to smoke, Alec Bradley Prensado. Certainly you've been seeing my new content. I'm trying to show y'all some new stuff. So we can do it all. We can do the new stuff. We can do the old stuff. I've been showing you the avowed, the new stuff. I'm really digging the new stuff. I don't like all the new stuff, but every now and again, some of the new stuff comes out, and I gotta say, you know, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. So we've been dealing with some of the new cigars, as well as we're gonna keep it old school. And so I'm gonna be smoking this Alec Bradley Prensado. This is old school. I believe it got Cigar of the Year, one of those years back in the days. And so tonight we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I had a great week. As you guys, I was expecting to have on a special guest, and on Tuesday coming up, we got a special guest. We got it confirmed. Then we got a special guest. We're gonna have Brian from Pravada on, and so I poured me a healthy glass of some scotch. This is some Highland Park. And this is the Cask Strength Highland Park. So I said tonight, because Charles Wallingford used to always, he had a nice scotch collection, had a nice watch collection, and certainly he had has an amazing cigar collection. But I said, let's go old school. Let's do some scotch. And so we're gonna enjoy the scotch today. So make sure you guys are checking in. I know y'all been going crazy in the chat. What's up, everybody? What's up, Chris? What's up, Dennis? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Had a good long week. Having my first drink of the week. Tomorrow, I'm hosting a cigar event. I'm always hosting something. So tomorrow, I'm going to have my cigar club. We rotate it around. And so tomorrow, I'm hosting it. So I'm going to have a ton of cigar guys, ton of whiskey guys. We're going to be here right where I am, having a good time. As far as content, you've been seeing the content. Make sure you're supporting the content. Look, I don't like to just do the same old kind of videos over and over. I know what's going to work, but I'm like, let me give the people something different. Give you something new. Give you that new stuff. But I know what the people like. So we'll go back to best affordable cigars and those kind of things. I got a video coming out. If you saw last week's live, it's a video called 10 Cigar Predictions. And so I'm excited about that one. If you saw the live last week, you saw the 2-hour-long version. But I got it down. It's a fresh video. It's not an edited, clipped up thing. It's a whole video. But I got it down to like a 10-minute version of 10 predictions I'm making for the cigar space. I'm doing a video entitled Cigars for the American Taste Bud. As I smoke this cigar, this is what we smoke. Alec Bradley Prensado. What's going on, Mark? So hopefully Mark has gotten his goodies. Mailed out Mark some stuff. Mailed off old Fogey some stuff. I've been sending the goods out. And so if I rock with you, I'm gonna send you some stuff. All right, so check in. Let's get started. We doing this. This is improvised. So I had a whole show set, interview questions, all that. But this way you're gonna see the real test of a man's character to see, okay, well, can he do a show when the script didn't go the way he thought it was gonna go? And we're gonna see if Rise and Grind is the real deal tonight. So we're just gonna talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I thought the clips was gonna save me. I was gonna put the clips up. I thought the clips was gonna save me. But I gotta just talk to the people. All right, let's see what y'all doing. What's up, Chris? Got some Diesel Whiskey Row, some Crown Royal. That sounds like a good pairing. Mark's got some Buffalo Trace. Young is doing it. That sounds like a good time. Macanudo with some Barbados rum. All right. Old Fogey said he's seeing something different than the way I'm seeing it. I don't know what you're seeing, my friend. I look normal. He said zoom out or something. I don't know. Let me know if how y'all see me. I see. I don't know. I see it normal. Let's go, my friends. We about to do this. So check in. Yeah, Prince Sauter, this is old. And what I like about it, this bottle is so old. Not bottle. This cigar is so old. It's been aging since forever. All right. Now, I just mentioned we sending out stuff. The winner. And so we just did another giveaway. We always doing a giveaway. So the winner for last week, we did a giveaway, giving away this bottle of New Riff. This is a new bottle. And so I already gave out the first one. This is a new bottle. This is going to Cigar Empire. So that's whose name came up, Cigar Empire. I'm not sure if that's a channel or not. I don't think he's a channel. I think that's just his name. If he's got a channel, then shouts out to you. But Cigar Empire. So congratulations to Cigar Empire. Congrats. Congratulations. All right, we're here. In fact, I'm sitting next to my heater and I turned it off because the weather has been, I got up this morning, it was 39 degrees in Southern California. 39 degrees. I had ice. I had ice on my windshield. So yeah. All right, my friends. Let's check in. What's up, my friend? Got some Ezra. Robert, this is the place for you. This is where the men and women come to just kick it, chill, relax, have us a good time. And so, speaking of thanking the man above, let us open up the show with a prayer. That's what we do here. If you don't know, we do this. Look, we into guns, we into cigars, we into whiskey, we into old school masculinity. We like God, love God. So let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all those who rise and grind. We thank you for the movement of our limbs, clarity of our minds. God, we pray that we have an amazing show. Bless us on today. Bless us in the fellowship. Bless us in having a good time. May we stay safe. May we learn a little bit tonight. May the people be educated, entertained, and even encouraged. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, let's go, my friends. We talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Let me just get caught up. Welcome, Tito, catching us for the first time. So I got me some scotch. I got me some this old school Alec Bradley, and if we have a long show, I said let me pull out this new stuff. So I got this the Vow. I believe this is the Vow. Yeah, and so I've been showing you what. Hey, I don't always jump on a bandwagon, but every now and again something's good, and you gotta say, hey, yeah, I enjoy this. I'm enjoying them for right now. So we do old school stuff. We do new school stuff. All right. What's up, everybody? What's up? I'm behind on the chat. Just trying to get caught up before we get it going. Yeah. Video's looking good. Because I got the mic way over here. So y'all can see me. All right, my friends. All right, so right now, like I said, I'm smoking the Alec Bradley Prensado. So this is old school. So you would have to... Hey, look it up. Cigar Aficionado probably gave a cigar of the year, I don't know, 10 years ago. It's good. It's Honduran tobacco. I believe it might be a Sumatra wrapper. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. This is my wheelhouse. This Oliva Series V Melanio. This is what I'm digging. And so we just getting started. My brother's got him a Belgian blue. with some Jamaican Blue Mountain pour over. Oh, that sounds good. I've been drinking a lot of coffee, a lot of mushroom coffee. And so we are here. The good, the bad, and ugly. So let me know. Do you know what I mean by the good, the bad, and the ugly? Have you seen the film? Let's talk about it. And I'll even try to see if I can. In fact, let's just do an experiment. I'll do this with y'all right now. Let's see. Let's see if I could even. I want to see what happens when. Let's see if I try to show something. I want to see how it goes. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know what's going on. Can you hear it? Can you hear what you see on the screen over there? Because I can't hear it.
Too much. So
just let me know real fast before we even get started. Let me know. Does the technology work? Are you hearing both of us?
Things that interested me. Such as? The name Jackson's hiding under is Bill Carson.
Let me know. Somebody type it in the chat.
Your bit.
So you can see and hear me. Can you hear the clip? Can you see and hear the clip?
Something about a certain cash box, which just happened to disappear. That's my bit. Anything else? Not enough for you, eh? Well, you don't have to worry.
All right, I'm gonna work that out.
Again. Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, this is for you.
All right, I'm gonna try to work that out.
Worth $500. Almost forgot.
I don't even know how I would turn it up.
I think his idea was that I give you.
So y'all can hear the clip, but it ain't that loud. You can hear me.
But you know the pity.
All right, so that's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I'm messing with right now. So I want the show to be good. I want the show to be good. I want to bring you some entertainment value. And so I said, okay, maybe I can do something different. And so that was my quick idea, but I needed some more time to play with it and to mess with it and to get it right. Now, in fact, I can't even hear it when I play it for you guys like that. All right, so Cigar Empire. Congratulations. Cigar Empire has got this bottle. So you got this bottle coming to you. Cigar Empire. So shouts out to all the people. Shouts out to all you guys. All right, we about to get started. All right. Yeah, we pray. We pray before we get going. We love our guns, we love our cigars, and we love our God. Oh, yeah. And I think this show is going to really help you, Tito, as we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I just want us to have an honest conversation tonight. Just you and I, me and the people. We're going to have some good conversation. Just talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so if you're an old school dude like me, you remember that Clint Eastwood movie. You remember all those Clint Eastwood movies. And we'll talk about. There was 3 characters. There was Clint Eastwood's character, the good. There was, I believe his name was Tuco, the bad. And then there was the ugly, the good, the bad, and the ugly. In fact, let me do this. Let me keep playing with this thing. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I remember the scene right here. The good, the bad, the ugly. And that's going to lead us in our conversation tonight. Because there's some good things about cigars. There's some bad things about cigars. There's some ugly things about cigars. And so I want us to talk about it. I want you to feel free to talk about it. Feel free to say, well, let's start. And so with Clint Eastwood's character, he was the good guy. He was the good one. He was Mr. Righteous. He was almost the savior in some regards. You can say that. He was the good guy. He was the one who would save Tuco. If you don't know the whole storyline, okay, I'll break it down for you. And so you got Clint Eastwood. He's this bounty hunter. In all these old Western movies, he's a bounty hunter. He's doing his job. He saves Tuco. Tuco is a criminal. Tuco is a bad man, a bad person. Clint Eastwood has to save him. Every time Tuco is about to get hung for his crimes, for the things that he's done wrong, Clint Eastwood would save him. And they kept doing this. They got this relationship where he just keeps saving him, doing good by him, doing right by him. But finally, Clint Eastwood says, you know what? I done saved you one time too many. I got to move on. I can't keep messing with you. I'm going in a different direction. And that's what the good sometimes do. Sometimes the good is like, look, man, I done helped you. I done did all I could for you. And so Clint Eastwood, he decides to just leave Tuco alone. But Tuco's the ugly. He ain't so much good. He ain't so much bad, but there's some ugliness to him. There's some stuff in him that he's got to work out. That's Tuco. He's a criminal. He's got a good heart. He's a bad man, but he's just the ugly. And then finally, you got Angel Eyes. Angel Eyes is just a bad guy, a bad man, a bad person. Angel Eyes just cares about himself. That's all he cares about. How can he come up? How can he get ahead? How can he get over? In the end, they're all chasing after literally a pot of gold. They're chasing after some money. The good guy wants the money, but he's going to try to go about it in a good way, in a righteous way. Tuco, the ugly, he wants the money too. So sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not good. And then you got the bad. The bad is always going to do the bad. And so tonight, in our own fashion, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in the cigar space. Now, we're doing this off the top of my head. It's going to be me and y'all just having a good conversation. Y'all remember that old school movie? So let's talk about the good. What's some of the good things in the cigar space, in the cigar culture? What's some of the good things? If I could think, what we're doing here right now, this time of rest and relaxation. Listen, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning, was at work at like 6:45, left work at like 5. What we do here right now just allows us to chill, allows us to relax, allows us to have a good time. That's what I love about cigars. And I've been doing this for about 15 years. And you would think that maybe you get tired of it. You would think maybe sometimes you don't want to smoke no more. Maybe you get over it. It's like eating ice cream. It's like you never can have too much of it. I mean, okay, you can smoke too much, but what I'm saying is I'm talking about the moments. No one's ever said, oh, I don't feel like eating ice cream tonight. And that's what it's like having a good cigar, having that moment. I smoked so many cigars throughout my life. So again, probably about 15 years of smoking. And even just when I'm at work, if I'm having a bad day, thoughts going through my mind is, look, I'm going to go home. I'm going to hug my wife, kiss my daughter, pet the dog. I'm going to do all those things. Sit with my family, have dinner. But I know at some point I'm going to smoke a cigar. And that makes it. I mean, that's not why I live. I'm just saying it does make the moment. It makes the moment really good. And you think you would get tired of it, or you think it would get old, but no, it just keeps on getting better and better and better. And so, as my brother says, the people, when we think about what's good about this thing, just being able to kick it with people. Tomorrow, right where I am, right in my backyard, I'm gonna have like 15 to 20 guys smoking cigars, just chilling, just catching up with each other. Again, we rotate it. We usually do it like every other month. This way it stays fresh and new. But it's nothing like it. I share with you guys so often that when we get together, we don't even know what we smoking. Like, you just smoke your own cigar. It'll be 15, 20 guys just here, just smoking, having a good time. No one's judging anybody on nothing. Nobody's looking to see, hey, what cigar are you smoking? No one's dropping names. No, there's no brands. It's just the fellas coming together. Sometimes there's some ladies with us too. But it's just us coming together. This will be on a Saturday. And look at what we're doing on a Friday night. Just coming together. Just chilling. To me, that's the good. That's the best thing. That's my favorite thing. I told you guys I travel a lot. I'm always on the road. Countries, states, cities. Knowing that anywhere you go, and so I'm in a fraternity. A lot of my fraternity brothers will be on here. But being a cigar smoker, it may sound crazy, and I say this for all the new guys. It might sound crazy, but this is like a fraternity. Now, for my fraternity, we had to do some things to get in. I'm a Marine. We had to do some things to get in. When you're a cigar smoker, you can go anywhere, any city, in any country, and you are automatically in a fraternity. As soon as you walk in that cigar lounge, or as soon as it's understood, you are a cigar smoker. I'm a witness of this. I used to travel a lot, and I was always in these small towns. I worked in aerospace, and so I'm in different countries. But I know once I find me a cigar lounge, then I'm home. I know I can walk in there. It doesn't matter the language barrier. I've been in cigar lounges in China. Despite any language barriers, I know I can just walk in there and I'm good. There's this automatic connection. Listen, I'm a church man. I'm a military man. I'm a fraternity man. But the camaraderie, the connection, the bonds, the instant friendship, the instant gatherings, I think that only happens in a cigar space. There's no other space like it. Now, certainly there's bars and people go to bars and drink. Sure, people smoke weed and get together. Sure, people like coffee and they get together. But there's nothing like a cigar lounge. Just that family, that connection. And so I encourage, to me, the good about cigar smoking is the connections, the connectivity, the community. And so I encourage, I say this just about every show. Just start something. Start something in your local town. Start something right where you live. Just invite a couple people over. Doesn't have to be. One thing about cigar smokers, and let me just say this. And this is why I push so hard with my content saying, stop with all the brands. Stop with all this just expensive and almost like making people feel bad. In real life, and so I encourage my brother, he says, you want to start a group like this? Look, in real life, the people who I've hung out with around the world have never bring up brands. They never bring up just expensive stuff and latest and greatest. And that's why I make so much fun of it. Because in real life, in real cigar lounges, people don't talk like that. It does not happen. As I said, tomorrow is going to be 15 to 20 guys in my backyard. Nobody's going to know what I'm smoking, and I'm not going to know what anybody's smoking. We're going to talk. We're going to connect. We're just going to be. And that To me, that is the best thing about the cigar space. Just that community. That connectivity. And so for me, that's the good. I love that. I love being able to connect with people. I enjoy that. Now, what else is good? My brother says the good is you can use it as an intentional time of reflection and meditation. And I think you guys see this in my videos where if you ever wonder where do I come up with my ideas to talk about in the videos, that's what I do when I sit and smoke a cigar. I just sit there and my mind it's meditative. I just go on, I just relax. Because in my life, as you can imagine, there isn't a ton of time to relax. I go to work and I got a full-time job. I'm a pastor. I got a family, kids. Even as I'm sitting here on a live, I got church members texting me, asking me stuff. I got coworkers emailing me stuff. It never ends. But I know this. When I light up a cigar, it's over. I'm done. I'm chilling. Don't leave me alone. Don't bother me. I'm having a me moment. And I think we hear so much people talking about mental health. I'm a big proponent of it. Imagine if you can just have some me time. Just a moment, and even just a moment of just stopping. Just letting your mind stop. Just letting your mind just rest. Just hitting the pause button. Now, it's not a stop button because your problem's still going to be there when you get done with the cigar. But sometimes you need to, like my brother says, just let things slow down. Just relax. Just be. Nothing about cigar space should stress you out, including the prices of the cigars. And so it's all for relaxation. It's all for meditation. It's all for just reflecting. My brother says, love that at a cigar lounge, you can see hardworking blue collar men chatting with a millionaire. And listen, and I've said this on video. I have once, and I'll go ahead and say it. It's been so long. Well, let's just say, I'll put it out like this. I've sat in cigar lounges. I know you're going to look, I'm not lying when I say this. I've sat in cigar lounges next to people. I don't want to sound like I'm capping. I have literally sat in cigar lounge. It only happened one time, but it did happen. It did happen. I sat in a cigar lounge and I'm sitting next to an owner of an NBA team. And we're just chatting. We're chatting. And the first when he told me, I was like, okay, he's lying. And then he showed me his phone. And he showed me him and the players and everything. And I was like, oh, of course I Googled him and checked it out. And I wouldn't have known it at all. Would not have known it at all. If this was in DC, we're just chilling. In fact, it's at Shelly's back room. And so in a cigar lounge, you have no idea who you're going to run into. And certainly we can say, oh, you're going to run into celebrities. You're going to run into millionaires, politicians. You're going to run into all kinds of people. But I think the main thing is it's just people. It doesn't matter. It does. Look, everyone in there is just chilling, relaxing. Doesn't matter position. Doesn't matter status. Doesn't matter wealth. We're all just there. There's no one. Well, I can say this. In the cigar lounges that I go to, there's never any judgment. In fact, one of the things that we used to do, and I wish we can get back to doing this. We used to do this. We used to take the bands off our cigars. That used to be etiquette. About 10 years ago, that's how you just took the band off. Soon as you cut and light your cigar, You automatically took the band off because you didn't want to separate. You didn't want to let it be known, oh, I'm smoking an Opus X and you're not. We didn't used to do some of the things I see us doing now. Nobody would brag and be like, oh, I'm smoking an Atabay. Like, let me know if you remember that time where you automatically, it used to be about 15 years ago, when I started getting into cigars, I was told it's rude to leave the band on because now you're looking too pushy. You're looking like a show off. And so what we used to do was just take the band off. And I would admit, about 5 years ago, I stopped doing it because I realized other people stopped doing it. But that's how it was. Because you didn't want nothing to separate. Like my brother said, cigars is the great equalizer. It breaks down race, gender, class, if we want to use that term. Listen, I say this all the time. I'm a pastor. I done seen fights in the church. I've never seen a fight in a cigar lounge. I have seen preachers fight each other. I'll make y'all mad when I say this. I've seen bishops fight each other. Fist fight. I know preachers who come to meetings with pistols on them, ready. I'm just telling you the truth. I've never been in a cigar lounge and seen a fight. I've never even so much as seen an argument. And so you gotta say there's something unique about this space. Me as a social scientist, I gotta look at this and say, hey, there is something very unique about this space. We've seen fights. If you watch the Senate and the Congress, they fight all the time. If you watch like British Parliament, they fight. You go to work, there's fighting. You look at Thanksgiving, families come together and fight. But in the cigar lounge, we're just together. We're just connected. We're just one. And so this is why, again, a lot of my content is really pushing at that, because I look at it and I say, look, in the real cigar lounge, nobody really cares. Nobody's judging. Nobody cares. Nobody's checking for nothing. Nobody's checking to see what cigar you're smoking or how much does it cost? What kind of lighter you get? Now, maybe there's some cigar lounges out there where people pull out their ST DuPont lighter and they sit and they look. I don't really go to those kind of places. Places I go to, we're just connected. We're just connected. What's up, brother Daryl? I think, Daryl, did you recently win something? I feel like I just sent you something. I feel like I just sent you a bottle or something. But again, Cigar Empire is the winner. And so the Cigar Lounge is a peaceful space. Smoking a cigar it's something you never get tired of. Now, okay, you could get tired of smoking, like if you smoke 2-3 cigars, sure, your palate. But just having that moment of meditation, reflection, relaxation, it just never gets old. It never does. But let's continue to talk about what's good. What's good about cigar culture? One thing I would say is as we're doing this, and I'm like, okay, I think I just sent Daryl some stuff. And old Fogey, I just sent him some stuff. And I remember, and I just sent Mark some stuff. Let's see what Mark says. In the past few years, cigars in the gym have made the most impact in his life in a positive direction. Mental health. Yeah, just getting with people. people of a same like-mindedness. I suppose, you know what? I would also say the gym. The gym can be a good spot. Everyone's focused. But yeah. The gym could be good. We talk about just coming together. And even just, I started to say this, and I said, all right, don't say it. And speaking about going to cigar lounges, and speaking about just what's good about cigars, we talk about community, the friendliness. And so Old Fogey has sent me like Opus X 20th, like just insane cigars. And not just one of them, like a couple of them. I've sent him just Cuban cigars. I think I might send him Cubans, Atabase, those kind of things. It ain't just about sending someone an expensive cigar. It's about sending somebody something that's unique. Like I believe I may have sent him maybe some Boulevard Belicosos that had like 5 to 8 years age on them. That's something you can't really buy. That's something that just is. I've been in a cigar lounge. I kid you not. One of the most expensive cigars is the Davidoff Del Oro. I've been in a cigar lounge. A gentleman handed me one of those. A Davidoff Del Oro. No, Oro Blanco. When he handed it to me, in fact, I didn't even smoke it then and there because I didn't know what it was. I was like, I just said, oh, thank you so much. And then later I found out it's like a $500 cigar. Now, is it? Well, listen, you can Google it. The Davidoff Oro Blanco. So really the most expensive cigar that I've ever had. A stranger. Now, of course, we chatted and we talked and we didn't become friends or nothing. We just talked all night long. So for all intents and purposes, this was a stranger. A stranger gave me a $500 cigar. There is no space where that happens. There is no other space in the world where something like that would ever happen. And I think it's just when it comes to cigars, we have a big heart. We don't, because we enjoy something, we want others to enjoy it. And so if I smoke a cigar and I think, oh man, this thing's amazing, I want you to have it. That's why I send so much people so much stuff, because if I've had a good experience, I'm going to want a friend of mine to have that same experience. I don't want to just tell you that, oh, the new Avowed is really good. And what am I going to do? Talk about it and describe it to you? I mean, at some point, I'm going to say, hey, here's one. Hey, I like this Lampert Limitada. Oh, yeah, let me send you one so you can understand, so you can have the same experience and the same joy that I have. One of the things about the cigar space is it's just shared. Sometimes you can do that with whiskey. Let's say if you got a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, you'll invite your friends over and, you'll pour them a glass. But you're not going to send them a sampling of Pappy Van Winkle. But with cigars, we do that all the time. And so I encourage you guys, hey, connect with each other. Share with each other. One of the things I thought about doing is even, and our old fogey's been telling me to do this, setting up a Discord. But just setting up something where we can just share with each other. Just correspond with each other. Because what I'm sharing with you guys, and again, I keep saying this, I sound like a broken record, the focus of my channel is to get us back. I notice I see a lot of brand influence. It's almost like you got brands and that's not the culture that I know. That's not the culture that I became a part of. That's not the fraternity I'm a member of. I'm a member of the cigar smoking fraternity, where we just take care of each other. Yeah, my brother enjoying. He's gonna crack the. Let me throw this out. He said he's gonna crack open the new riff once Ramadan is over. I'll tell you this. Yeah, I'm fasting during Lent. And someone's like, what you fasting from? But nah, I fast during the daytime during Lent. So listen, we're a show where my Muslim brothers, my Christian brothers, my Jewish brothers, we talk. This is what the cigar space does, where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter who you are. And listen, a brother didn't ask me for nothing. And have I ever given away such an expensive cigar? Maybe not that price tag, but again, if I got a Cuban cigar that I've been holding on to for like 10 years and I send it to you, from a value standpoint, that's a pretty expensive item. In fact, there's a local lounge that just opened up right around the corner from me. I went in there just to check it out. Sat down, and the guy was telling me about it. He was a member there, and he's like, oh, yeah, you ought to join. It's pretty nice. We're pretty cool. And then he was telling me about the house blend that they have at this lounge. And they're pretty expensive. The guy doesn't know me at all, just met me. He says, you know what? Hey, let me give you a couple. Just gave me like 3 of them. Great cigars. An absolute stranger. Why? Because once he sees me in the cigar lounge, there's this automatic bond. And so that's what's really outside, my friends. That's the good. All right, let's continue. We got a couple more good. We talk about the community. We talk about the time of reflection. And then just simply, sometimes cigars are just good. To me, just smoking a cigar, like I'm smoking this Alec Bradley Prensado, it just tastes good. Just like having a good meal. Or even like for instance, I'm drinking this scotch right now. It's pretty good scotch. And so this is the Highland Park. It's like a Highland Park 12-year, but this is the cask strength. And so it simply tastes good. It tastes good. The cigar tastes good. I'm getting all that sweetness on here. I'm getting spice on here. It just tastes good. It's like a hickory molasses sweetness on this thing. It just tastes good. I enjoy it. If you're a human and you like to eat things, if you like to drink things, I love a good cup of coffee. I like the taste. I love a good glass of cognac, glass of whiskey, glass of wine. I am a foodie. I like to experiment. I like to try new things. I like sauces and spices. I like to eat. And so I know my brother Old Fogey is out there in Kansas City, all kind of barbecue, eating good. Some people are into sushi. We like stuff that got some taste on it, stuff we can enjoy. And there's nothing like a good cigar, a cigar that tastes good. And that's why I push and say, look, make the cigar taste good again. Let's make cigars taste good again. And so just smoking a cigar. So there's the mental, there's the community, but it's also just chilling, just tasting it, just from a physical, not even mental or connection. Just how does it taste? Does it taste good? And so I can't smoke a cigar that doesn't taste good. Just the taste. And if you start getting into retrohaling, where you start tasting it more and just fully experiencing the cigar, just nothing like that. And so let me know any others. And again, this whole show, we just doing this off the top of my head. I mean, that's all it is. It's all just conversation. We've been talking for 50 minutes. make sure you hit the like button. I was expecting to have on Charles Wallenfoot. Again, like I really do know him. I know him. I really do. I'm not lying. I actually know him. I mean, well, just as far as. So again, when I started my channel, he reached out to me, emailed me, gave me his number. And we actually started corresponding. And I reached out to him. It might have just been last week. I said, hey, you know what? He doesn't do content anymore. And that's why I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it for that reason, because for me, everything to me is got to be authentic. And so I had Old Fogey on because that's like my real friend. Like we started here. We started with this. Started with cigars. I sent him some stuff. He sent me some stuff. It started right here. I want to make sure anything I bring on my show is authentic. It's real. So that's why I had Old Fogey as my first guest. And then I said, you know what? My second guest, I said, let me bring on Charles Wallenfoot. Not for like something to say, oh, he's going to get some views, because he's not even doing content. So he used to do cigars. In fact, before then, he was doing watches. And he was just blowing up. Made his whole channel. Had videos that was getting like hundreds of thousands of views. And then he switched to cigars. So he went on a cigar journey. And so he was like one of the pioneers in that space of cigar content. He would do showing you the collection. He would do showing you the different list. And then he started showing you some cognacs. Then he started showing you some rums. And so that's what I used to watch. So if you guys remember Charles Wallenfoot, go ahead and let me know what you remember of him. And then he saw the YouTube change. And so then he stepped away. And the reason why I mentioned all this is because I just wanted to have him on just to talk. Because he started another channel where I think it's called Uncle Wallenfoot, where he just talks about man stuff. Just grooming. Just stuff that men sit around and talk about. And so that's the kind of conversations that I enjoy having. Not a conversation to talk about some brand. I even told him, I said, look, we might talk a little bit about cigars, but I just want to talk. Just connect. That's what we do with the cigar space. And what you're going to see and notice, so even on Tuesday, I got Brian from Bravado. We're going to chill and have a conversation. And you know what? It ain't designed to be talking about cigars. I mean, that might sound crazy to you. But when we sit as men and women in the lounge, we very rarely actually talk about cigars. We enjoy them. We smoke them. But we just talk to each other. And I think that's another good thing. It's almost like the cigar allows that space in that moment. Because if I just sat down next to you and talked for like 2 hours, it might seem kind of weird, you know? But a cigar almost allows you that it becomes that vehicle by which the conversation can flow. My brother says, another good for him is the thrill and hunt, finding that stogie you've been looking for. Yeah, there's nothing like it. Just walking in that humidor and seeing it. And especially when you've got that connection to it. And so I'm smoking this Alec Bradley Prensado. This cigar to me, it's going to be something more to me than it ever could to anyone else. I could go and order online a fresh box of them. And that's cool. You know, maybe I'll do that. But every time I see one of these that I have, or I walk into a humidor and I see it, I'm transferred back 10 years ago. Maybe when I first heard Charles Wallenfoot talk about it. I'm transferred all the way back to when I first smoked one of these. Your sense of smell oftentimes connects to memory. And so just as you're smoking a cigar and just enjoying a cigar, it's taking you back. You're going on these memory rides. And I got to say this, because I did a video the other day where I talk about my Partagas Lusitania. The day when I bought that cigar and the day when that came in, that changed. There's just pure joy. Just pure joy knowing that I've always wanted a cigar. Why? Because Michael Jordan. Yeah. But I always wanted it for whatever reason. And when I was finally able to get it, I mean, that whole month, I was just happy because I accomplished something I set out to do. And so, yeah, the thrill of the hunt is exciting. Not the hunt in that you're just hunting for everything to come out. But just in even knowing something like that, for me to see the Partagas Lusitania and to say, one day I want that cigar. And then one day I got it. And so those are some of the goods. Those are some of the good. Those are some of the good. But if we can talk about maybe some of the ugly. Some of the ugly. Let's segue. Some of the ugly. So I'm trying to work with a little technology. I'm gonna share some of the ugly. Let's talk about some of the ugly. Now this scene
Time to learn how to shoot
from my
by
favorite
them.
movie. This scene here. You remember this scene? It's the scene where Tuco's the ugly. And in this scene,
Now I find I've
the
been
guy
looking for
comes
you
up
for
to
8
him.
months. Whenever I should have had a gun in my right hand, I thought of you. Now
Says,
I
"I've been
find
looking
you
for you."
Exactly the position that
All right,
suits
let me
me.
set it up. Let me set it up. Let me set it up.
Lots of time to learn.
Because again, I don't know how the sound is coming across for you guys. I don't know how the sound is coming across for you guys. But in this scene, so Tuco, again, he's not bad. But he is Tuco. He is who he is. At some point, Tuco must have robbed this guy. I remember the one scene. Remember the scene where Tuco was talking to his brother? His brother's a priest. And his brother's being all high and mighty. And Tuco says, look, where we came from, you had one or two options. He says you either became a bandit or you became a priest. You chose your way, I chose mine. And so Tuco isn't a bad person. Just made some choices. He made some choices and he simply found himself where he found himself. So, is he a robber? Yeah, he's a robber. Has he done some crimes he should be convicted for? Yeah. He's done some things he shouldn't have done. So in this scene, so sure, he robs this guy. I guess he shoots him in his arm. The guy says, look, I've been looking for you. Every time I try to find you, I couldn't shoot you because I had to learn how to shoot my other arm. He's giving this whole long speech to Tuco, and Tuco just says, hey, look, man, if you're going to do something, do it. If you're going to shoot, shoot. And so let me just play this.
With my left.
When you have to shoot, shoot. Don't talk.
Tuco say, if you're gonna shoot, shoot. Tuco was just ugly. Not necessarily bad. He was just ugly. So let's segue. Let's segue into what's some of the ugly things. Now, it ain't bad. We gonna save the bad for last. But what's some of the ugly things as we just chilling? In fact, I'm enjoying this cigar. I'm enjoying this cigar. But let's talk about, I feel like giving away something. All right, so I already said Cigar Empire. Cigar Empire is going to get a bottle of this new riff. So I'm going to send that out to him. And speaking about, I want to be true and right. I talk about giving away good stuff. That's what we do. We cigar smokers, we give away good stuff. We give away we give away some of the good stuff. And so here's what I'm going to do. And so you've been seeing the content. You've been seeing what I recently got. I got these different avowed stuff. And so in fact, this is going to be my second cigar. In fact, I'm going to light this up right now. I'll just jump into it right now. So I got this avowed, the vow. I'm digging these. These cigars are pretty good. I ain't gonna hype it up too much. Well, all I'm gonna say is the cigar's pretty good. I just did a video that you saw on the hollowed hands. Good cigar. That's their more darker offering. And then I got some of the New Dawns. New Dawns are pretty good. I guess the New Dawn is the Connecticut, but all these cigars are so flavorful. It's really hard to tell what is what. Because the New Dawn, it's a Connecticut, but it's got so much flavor on it. It tastes pretty good. And I'm lighting up the Avow. No, I'm lighting up the Vow. I enjoy the cigar. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hook up somebody. I'm going to send you like a 5-pack. It'll probably be more. I'm going to throw a bunch of stuff in there. I'm going to hook the people up. I'm going to put together a little care package. And so we're going to go hashtag the good. Hashtag the good. Then I'll make you I'm going to make like a rise and grind pack. I'm going to put some of the new stuff, some of the avowed in there. I'm going to throw some turduckens in there. I'm really, I'm still in the holiday spirit. I'll throw in some turduckens. I'm going to throw in some good stuff. You know I'm going to take care of the people. Now, I may not give you no Cubans. I may not throw in no Atabays and no Opus X's for this one. Because I'm just doing this off the top of my head. Remember, the whole show is just... my guest didn't show up. And I said, look, I'm still going to give the people a show. We're going to improvise. We're going to figure this out. And so go ahead, hashtag the good. Hashtag the good. Because we talk about the good things about cigars. The community. The connectivity. Just the moments of reflection. The sharing that we do with each other. The time out we allow ourselves. And even just the way the cigars taste. And so those are the goods. So go ahead and share. Hashtag the good. And I'll send you out that little rise and grind pack. All right, so I'm smoking this Avow the Vow. The hashtag the good. Hashtag the good. And I'm going to make you a rise and grind pack. So again, I'll throw in some avowed cigars. So you'll definitely get a New Dawn. You'll get the brand new hollowed hands. And then I'll throw in some, like I said, I'm thinking turducken. I'm just trying to think of what do I want to bless people with? I like to send people cigars that they wouldn't get otherwise. Because you can always walk in a store and get, whatever, My Father Blue. But you cannot find a turducken. You can't find. So I'm going to send you some stuff that only a friend can send it to you. Hashtag the good. And then when we meet up on Tuesday. So remember, I'm going to have Brian from Pravada. And that's also why I'm going to be smoking the turducken when I do the show with Brian on Tuesday. And so that's why I want to send you some Bravado stuff. We're not pushing no brands, but again, every now and again, I like to stay focused and concentrated. So I've been talking a lot about Avowed. So I figure I'll send you some stuff. Brother said, ugly when I saw some guys giving wicked hate to the infused crowd and bundle smokers. Pretty pretentious. Okay, yeah. And I'll even hold myself accountable. So I would say, yeah, I'm not the biggest infused guy. But again, look, to each his own. If you sit, somebody pulls out their Fat Bottom Betty, that's a infused cigar. That's gonna be an amazing time for him. Now, will I smoke it? I mean, no, it's not necessarily what I want to smoke. It's like me saying I don't want to smoke a Connecticut. I want a stronger cigar, but it does not matter. It ain't no real man sitting around talking about what another man smokes and why he smokes it and why he shouldn't. I mean, now I'll share and say I don't smoke it and I don't want to smoke, but again, and a lot of stuff we do it just in fun. Brother Tito asked, what's a bundle smoker? And again, these are some of the negative terms that I would say, yeah, these are the ugly. Some of the things we do, and a lot of this is new. Because we never used to even worry about bands and all that. Most cigars that you smoke was bundles. You just went, it's just like with coffee. Most people just go down to their local coffee shop, get some beans, and it's got no name on it. It's just coffee. It's just called coffee. But after Starbucks came out, now we started putting names on it. Started calling it stuff. It just used to be called coffee. That's it. You want dark coffee, light roast, or medium roast. That was it. But now we got names for everything. Back in the days, you just had cigars. Yeah. And so a lot of us smoke bundle cigars. And it was okay. There was no judgment in that. So I would say that's become like an ugly thing where there's all this judgment. There's all this looking at what somebody's smoking. Like you got some kind of price analysis you're doing on what is he smoking. And so the bundle cigars is just, and you know where the bundle cigars come from? The same place where the Bandit cigars come from. And so it's the same cigar. All right, my brother Young says his birthday is this Tuesday, so make sure, hopefully you can join us on Tuesday. In fact, look, this is how we are. If you email me, my friend, I'm gonna hook you up. Email me, send me an email. I'll hook you up for your birthday. Because that's just what we do. We help each other out. You see, you just purchased a new humidor and some hype cigars. So yeah. In fact, Young, the same pack that I'm going to give to whoever does the hashtag, the good, I'm going to send you something as well. Why? Do I expect anything from him? Will I ever meet him? No, just... that's how we do it in the cigar space. Because we have it, we just give it to each other. We just help each other out. And so your birthday's coming up. I got you, my friend. I got you. All right. Tito asks, do people order sticks online or just in shops? Doesn't matter. And I would say, I like to get my sticks in person. Problem is I live in Southern California or California at all. And the markup is ridiculous. And so therefore that I buy a lot of cigars when I travel. So there's some states where you can just get cigars at reasonable prices. In California, that's not the case. Our cigars, I mean, with the taxes and everything, it just costs you a fortune. And so there's a lot of great websites that you can go to and get you some stuff. And Tito, what you're going to do, even as we talk about the ugly, he said he needs to get a bigger humidor. And we'll just give him this free game right now. And I'm sure I'm way behind in the chat, but just get you some Tupperdoors. So look that up. Look that up. You can look that up on YouTube. And there's nothing to buy from a cigar shop. Just get you some Tupperdoors from like Target or whatever. Make sure it's got that silicone seal, not the silicone, but that rubber seal. Get you some Tupperdoors. Get you some Boveda packs and store your cigars that way. So in fact, I know that's what Brian at Privada does a lot. That's how he stores all. So if you don't know, Privada is like the biggest cigar subscription service in the world. He's got a warehouse and he stores all of his cigars just in coolers, just plain old coolers. I would say that's one of the ugly things about the cigar space, where there's been so much marketing. Now we all like to have that nice oak with the shiny finish on it. We like to have that desktop, or we like to have the thermoelectric because it look like we know what we're doing. I think that's even an ugly aspect of cigars, in that we told people that they need to have fancy stuff. We told people that they need to have the biggest and the latest and the greatest. All my equipment, like this lighter here, this is like $20 on Amazon. So you never, especially for the newer guys, you don't need to get into buying all this stuff. And I would say that's an ugly aspect. Is it bad? It ain't bad, but it's a little ugly. It's a little ugly how we make people feel. We make people feel like they got to buy the latest and the greatest. And so I think that's an ugly thing. So Tito, you don't keep buying humidors, because you end up like me with a ton of humidors you don't even know what to do with. Just go get you some Tupperware and just get you some humidity packs. So look that up, Boveda, and just store your cigars that way. It's the same thing. Cigar is going to age based on age. It ain't going to age based upon how expensive your humidor is. All right. So hashtag the good. Hashtag the good. And then on Tuesday, we're going to hook the people up. We're going to send you a little Rise and Grind pack. I'll call it a 5-pack. It's called a Rise and Grind 5-pack. Because what I do is this. I always say, all right, I'm going to send 5 cigars. And then I just say, you know what? There's more room in the bag. Fill it up. And I just start grabbing stuff. So you can get a Rise and Grind 5-pack, which means it's like a baker's dozen. You will get some extra. Why? Just because. No reason. Ain't because I want you to send me money. Nah, that ain't how we do it in the cigar space. We do it because we have it. Yeah, and I think it's a beautiful thing. Maybe this is one of the goods, that you can be in a space and constantly growing. So I've been smoking cigars all these years, and now I'm smoking this Avowed, and now I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I love this. There's always something. It's not that there's always something new, but there's always room for growth. There's always way you can expand. Your palate's going to continue to change. Your experience is going to continue to change. Last video that I put out, I've been smoking all these years. I literally did a new cut. I call it a star cut. It's a V cut. It's a double V cut. There's always something new that you're going to be doing. And so you never stop growing as a cigar smoker. There's always going to be, I talk in another video about Haitian tobacco. There's always going to be tobacco from somewhere else. Last year, I smoked for the first time African tobacco, tobacco from Zimbabwe. And so one of the goods is the constant growth. Brothers enjoying him a room 101. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm going to hook someone up with a turducken, because I get it that most people don't have them. That's why I like to send them. I like to send stuff where I know you ain't gonna find this. I mean, I think my, you know where I get my turduckens? From my frat brother who gets them and he just mails them out to everybody. That's what we do. I kid you not. This guy every November, we gotta pay him, but he just mails out to like 100 different people these turduckens. There's no other space where somebody says, look, guys, I got the turduckens. He buys them. I guess he goes to his cigar lounge, buys up the whole shop, and then just sends it to his friends. Not at a profit or nothing. Just to help us out. Because he knows we can't get it where we are. All right. So I'm enjoying this. A vow to vow. We did a hashtag the good. Because that's what we're talking about tonight. The good, the bad, and the ugly. This show is just impromptu. My special guest didn't make it. We say, you know what? We're going to do our own thing. It's just me and the people. That's what it's always going to be. Me and the people. My brother says, but ours, are there some good cigars in bundles? Yeah. In fact, I don't want to be selling too much. This is the last time I'm doing this. I'm only doing this for Tito. All right. He talked about online, talk about bundles. Okay. And so many of you have done this. So you already know where I'm going with this. So you want to get some great, a pack of 20 cigars, costs you like $80. Go to Cuban Crafters. It's my local spot in Miami. Go to Cuban Crafters. Obviously, you're not going to fly to Miami. But if we're talking about e-commerce, you can go to Cuban Crafters. I like to get their Habanos. And so great. Some people may call it a bundle stick. House blend. An amazing cigar. Absolutely amazing cigar. So many of you can confirm that. This is how we take care of each other. Just like what you're seeing right now, it's just organic. In fact, okay, when I do my Rise and Grind pack, I'm going to put in a couple of vows because that's new stuff I want my friends to try out. I'm going to throw in at least one turducken, and then I'll put in one of my Cuban crafters in there. All right. Yeah, my brother says I live in California. Okay, I know a lot of people. A lot of people like the Deadwoods. Infused cigars. I know some people, they smoke just regular cigars and they smoke infused cigars. Now, it's not for me. I just don't do it. I just don't enjoy it. But, yeah. And so, we're giving our pointers. The cigar space is what we do. We help each other. Brother says, get a 30-liter easy storage Tupperware. So, Tito, that's the game right there. Go ahead and buy that. Do exactly what Mark is saying. Or you can get acrylic jars. Now, imagine if imagine if Tito felt as if he needed to go and buy some $500 desktop humidor. Imagine if he felt he had to go spend $1,000 and buy some big old thermoelectric that holds 1,000 and has leather and to me, that's some of the ugly in this space. Some of the stuff that we've allowed the brands to do, we've allowed them to come in, and I think that's an ugly thing that I'm seeing right now. That's an ugly thing. That's an ugly thing that I think I'm seeing. So some of the just even in taking advantage of because I think what they realize is a lot of new cigar smokers. So it's always expanding. And I think some of these companies profit off of that. All right. We helping. This is my most organic show ever. Because I said, look, I always have like an idea. What we talking about? Tonight, I'm like, I don't know. We just gonna talk. So we do this once a week, my friend. Make sure you check out the channel. We drop about 3 videos a week. And we just help the people. And if what we're doing, if someone's watching this and they're like, wait a minute, So this guy just sends people bottles of whiskey and cigars and just information and conversation. This is what the space looks like. This is what it's supposed to be. So I'm not like doing something new and different. What I'm doing is what should be normal. Because this is what I see in real life. I told you, I got a $500 cigar from a guy in real life. Just because. This is normal. And let's normalize this. Let's normalize us just talking to each other, just chilling, giving advice. And yeah, if you can, hook somebody up. So yeah, Tito, we do this Fridays. Every Friday we do this. I'm gonna do an extra show on Tuesday because I got a special guest person. His schedule doesn't allow him to come on Friday. I'm like, look, my people rock out on Fridays, so we're gonna do a quick Tuesday timeout. Quick Tuesday timeout with Brian from Bravado on Tuesday. We're gonna give you the content. Best affordable cigars, that's coming out. Cigars for our taste bud. Somebody said, Kami, California. Yeah, it is. But look, I'm giving cigars that taste good to us. Cigars that we can like. Brother Revolver says, when you hit 60, smooth and nuance, don't cut it no more. And so I'm dropping a video, cigars for the American taste bud. Ain't nobody else doing that kind of like content. I'm saying, look, here's the cigars we like and we smoke. And I talked to you about how you have international markets. Other markets have more milder cigars. That's why Cuban cigars are more milder. It's for other markets. Us Americans, we like a certain kind of thing. All right, so please continue. We talk about the good. We talk about the ugly. We're an hour and 22 minutes in. We doing a show. Just a man and the people. We doing a show. I'm just trying to get caught up in the chat. We talking about some of the stuff that's ugly. There's some stuff, it ain't bad. It's just ugly. It ain't what we supposed to be doing. It's not who we are. I don't like it. I wish it was different. There's some stuff I'm seeing in the cigar space. It's a little ugly. It's not bad. It's just a little ugly. It's a little ugly. I wish we'd stop doing it. I wish we would stop, judging so much, talking down to so much. It's almost like, and that's why I smoke the Prensado. There's some people who would say, oh, Prensado, that's an old cigar. I mean, there's some people who have that mindset of you're not supposed to do like the old stuff. You're not supposed to smoke a bundle cigar, smoke an unbanded cigar. There's some people who say, oh, your lighter is supposed to be a $30 lighter. There's some people say, oh, you need the nice fancy humidors. I've shown you my collection. I keep my Cubans in a Tupperware. My Cubans, because that is actually one of the best ways to store your cigars. Because the desktops, it's wood, so you're gonna have some leakage. If you're storing for long term, yeah, go with your Tupperware. You're talking about plastic. You're talking about sealed. When you put a Boveda inside that Tupperware, that thing's gonna last forever. Because it's sealed. It's absolutely sealed. Wood is porous. And so the wood humidors, although they look good, the functionality isn't as great as plastic. But sometimes we don't want to, we want to look, we want to look fancy. So do what you please, but we're sharing with you the information. All right, let's see. What's some of the ugly stuff? The Tuco kind of stuff. Tuco was just ugly. My brother says ugly when dudes in the lounge get way too intoxicated and start talking outside of the neck. Oh man, that's crazy. Okay. I haven't seen that, but sure. Folks in the lounge getting a little crazy. I haven't seen it, but I can imagine it. I could imagine it. What I would say, what I don't like, I just call it ugly. I mean, it ain't bad. I just think it's a little different. When I go to the lounge and they just bumping music. When you go to the lounge and it's like a concert or something. I don't love that. I don't like it when the lounge turns into a nightclub. I think that's crazy. I mean, everything we said that's good about cigar smoking, that whole fraternity, that connectivity, that conversation, the sharing. I'm not sure how that's supposed to happen if the DJ is bumping some Montel Jordan. I mean, I don't know how that's supposed to happen when folks doing the electric slide in the dance floor in the lounge. I'm not sure. And so to me, I say that's a little, I might call that ugly. It's a little different. My brother says that one guy in the lounge will suck the good air right out of the place. Okay, I'm sure that's ugly. That is ugly. That's ugly. One thing I talk about, and Tito, if you go in the lounge, just look. The video that started it for me in the cigar space, I got a video entitled "The Cigar Lounge Rules." So check that video out. I talk about just how to be in the lounge. Just chill, relax. Don't be Mr. Uppity. Don't be Mr. Know-It-All. Don't be Mr. Braggart. Just relax. Just chill. Read the room. Understand the space where you are. Fit in. A lot of this is because a lot of men just don't know how to act. A lot of men don't know how to chill. There's something about smoking a cigar that forces you to chill. It forces you to relax. It forces you to sit down and chill, be calm. And I think it ain't even so much the lounge. It's society. A lot of men don't have these skills. They weren't raised right. They don't know how to sit down and behave themselves. And so they get all crazy. They get all talkative. A lot of stuff that you see, again, I hope what my channel is doing is showing us, I wouldn't even say correcting anything. I would just say just normalizing it. All I'm doing is showing you how it used to be. And I pray and hope it just goes back to being normal. And so that's like saying, when the DJ starts spinning in not in the nightclub, but in the cigar lounge, that's not normal. And when a guy like me says, hey, can we get the DJ out of the cigar lounge? Can we stop doing that? It's okay for us to just sit here. And even if it looked like we're bored, that's okay. It's okay for men to be bored. It's okay to just sit down and chill. There's a lot of people who even watch my content. They're like, come on, say something controversial. Come on, do something funny. Like, it's okay to just relax. Be calm. That's the cigar lounge space. And in fact, we just talking. I ran into a good brother and his wife the other day in a cigar lounge. And he's looking at me, staring at me. And I say, hey, what's up, man? He goes, rise and grind? I was like, yeah. I said, what's up, man? I gave him my first name, shook his hand. His wife's like, oh, can he take a picture with you? Oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah, man, it's cool. And then he was just staring at me. He was happy to see me, and he's looking at me, and I can tell he was like, hey, okay, well, say something. Like, do something. Like, give me your take on something. And I'm just like, nah, dude, I ain't nothing to say. I just sat down and smoked. And the whole time he's just staring at me, and I could tell, like, I told my wife when I got home, I said, I think I disappointed him. Because the whole night he's staring at me, and he's like waiting for me to do something or say something. I'm like, nah, dude, I don't. I mean, if we have a good conversation, I'll say something, but I'm chilling. Sometimes I'm loud, sometimes I'm just chilling. Like, And I say that to express men can just sit down and chill. Men can even be bored. Men are comfortable with the silence. Two dudes can sit down and yeah, we can talk for hours, or we can say nothing. And I think that's what these new people who own cigar lounges, they don't understand that. They're like, no, we need a concert. We need spoken word. We need a DJ, a comedian, a magician. It's too quiet in here. People aren't talking. No. It's okay. It's okay for us to just chill. And some of us done worked all day and we just want to chill. We don't want to dance. Bro, it says zero politics. Yeah. Zero politics. And so, my guy says, and I said this, when a group of ladies come to the lounge to chill, I love that. I tell my wife this all the time because I travel, I go to lounges, and I tell them, I'm only going to go to a lounge if I feel as if women would visit. It's got to be the right environment, an equal environment, an environment that's open for everybody. And if women don't want to come in there, there's probably something wrong with it. All right. And so we're talking about some of the ugly. Yeah, politics. Politics is getting crazy. Guns and Water says the thing is politics infiltrates cigars just like guns. Some people hate masculinity, try to ban them. That's another thing. The cigar space. Listen, okay, I ain't trying to be controversial. Maybe I shouldn't even say it, but it's a very masculine thing. That's the good. It's a very masculine thing. Now, I've said this. I did an entire live on testosterone. I did a little bit of research. It said something about smoking cigars increases testosterone. It said something about hanging out in cigar lounges. So being surrounded by men and women smoking cigars, it increases testosterone. And so I'm not trying to dive into it tonight, but there's something very manly and masculine about cigar smoking. Yeah. I ain't trying to tell you all my business. I'm going to tell you a little bit, and I'll tell you a little bit. Make sure my wife ain't listening. She doesn't really like cigar smell. But sometimes she'd be like, you smell like a man. I'm just saying. Sometimes it's just something about it where she doesn't like the smell of the smoke, but there's something masculine about it. And so we talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, I kind of agree with Daryl where he says, I know I've said zero politics. And I mainly say that because a lot of people can't handle it. Especially, we were in a special day and time. So now when I released that video saying no politics in the lounge, that was about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, our country was in a very unique place. And so I do think during that time, it probably wasn't a good time to talk about politics. Now I think we're so numb to it. Sure, you can talk about whatever you want, but I do think you gotta read the room, because not everybody can have an honest, intellectual, political conversation. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody can do what we're doing right now. We sitting here an hour and 30 minutes just talking, just vibing. Is there a topic? Yeah, there's a slight topic. But not everybody can do what we're doing right now. And so again, I want to normalize even what we're doing. Just chilling, just free-flowing conversation. Not everybody can do that. And even if we were to talk politics, I bet you it would go different than if people were in a bar talking about politics. So again, cigar smokers is just we just a different breed. Yeah, this is a virtual lounge. So I encourage you all to light up your cigars. Again, I'm drinking me my Highland Park Castrant. I'm going a little easy because I know tomorrow I'm gonna have my friends over and we're gonna be doing some stuff. And again, my friends are police officers, teachers. Some are right wing, some are left wing. And we just gonna chill and relax. We're not gonna talk no politics. We might not. Whatever we do, we're gonna laugh about it and be cool about it. So, all right, let me get caught up. Yeah, men used to discuss business and politics over cigars. Yeah. All right. So we here. We chilling, we vibing. I love what my brother just said. He says, whenever a group of warriors gather in peace, the testosterone is naturally going to increase. Listen, I did a whole live on this. I broke down the science. The way to grow and increase testosterone is by doing manly things and surrounding yourself with manly men. And let me pour. Look, I'm not messing with y'all for too much longer. I'm just chilling. We about to end in a little bit. Don't get excited. I'm just chilling. Just what you're doing right now, watching this live, it's increasing your testosterone. You're doing some manly stuff. Just doing this, watching this. And that's why I try to make sure I control my energy. Watching masculinity, controlled, calm masculinity increases your own testosterone. So yeah, sitting in a lounge, doing this, chilling, is all good. All right. Bro's got some Redbreast 15, and that's an amazing pairing. Redbreast 15 and Andalusian Bull. So I really like the Redbreast 12-year Castrant. I gotta try that 15. You in the lounge. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure y'all hitting the like. Make sure you're checking out my content. We here. So again, the show is always gonna be what the people want it to be. So I'm always gonna make sure of that. What's going on, Louis? And so I'm supposed to have Charles Wallingford on. You know who else I invited? Because I was like, man, that'd be really good. I invited Cigar Vixen. So that's the kind of shows I want to do. Like, as we talk about masculinity, bring on a woman in the space. So I really want to get there. I really want to do those kind of things. Have real conversations with men and women with personalities. So that's going to be the focus when I bring guests on. I live in Southern California, so of course I'm surrounded by all the celebrities, and I can just bring a celebrity on and do a show, but I care about the personality. I don't care about brands. And so I'm looking to bring on some people so we can have some good conversation. And so hopefully that works out. So my brother said, make sure you're commenting. That's why I like to give you guys a little hashtag this, hashtag that, just for the engagement. Because we know the playback's gonna get out to our brothers and sisters. So we just want to facilitate that, making sure they get it. This guy knows about the guests. Oh yeah, guests don't show up. It's all good. Like I said from the very first show, the guest is you my co-host. So it's me and it's you guys. You are the co-host. And so I'm sure Charles, I'll connect with him. Again, I just wanted to do that I think he's a legendary figure. Wanted to just hear his thoughts. And like I said, we were gonna talk a little bit about cigars for like 2 minutes, and then just talk. He's a Marine, and he's a good father, good husband, and so I pray everything is well with him. But again, we back on Tuesday. We back on Tuesday, and again, am I gonna talk with Brian about Pravada cigars? No, not really, not really. I want to get into his mind, understand his journey, understand culture, cigar culture, understand how he sees it. And again, I'm dropping a video in a couple of days entitled "My Predictions for Cigar Culture." And so these are the kind of things I want to talk about. These are the kind of things I think is important. My brother says he's got the 12-year cask strength. Oh, he blends them. Yeah. I like the cask strength because the thing with Irish whiskey, they distill it a lot. So sometimes it can be on the thinner side. That's why, as I'm drinking this Highland Park, and again, I got a video dropping this week entitled "Cigars for the American Palate." Because we Americans, red-blooded Americans, and we like certain things. Sometimes we don't like Scotch because it doesn't have the viscosity and the taste that we want. That's why this Highland Park is a cask strength, 64 ABV. And yeah, so as far as Redbreast, I really like their cask strength. So we talk about the good stuff about cigars: community, connectivity, the way we share, give information, the way we can just relax. We talk about some of the ugly stuff. This is the Tuco. Tuco is the ugly one. We talk about good, the bad, and the ugly. You don't know what good, the bad, and the ugly is, then you gotta watch it. You gotta watch the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's your homework assignment. You gotta watch the good, the bad, and the ugly. We talk about testosterone. Look, if you got low testosterone counts, two things you gotta do. You gotta watch Rise and Grind. You got to watch Rise and Grind. That's going to get your testosterone up. You got to watch men doing men stuff. And also watch some man stuff. I'm telling you, I'm a social scientist. Watch some man stuff. So yes, your homework assignment. Go and watch. Here's your homework assignment. Don't watch no more of my videos until you complete these assignments. In fact, I'm going to set it up where YouTube won't show you my videos unless you complete this assignment. You got to go watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You got to go watch Scarface. And you got to go watch Godfather. You got to do some man stuff. If you ain't watching that kind of stuff, you watching my content and you don't know what I'm talking about. You got to watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You got to watch Scarface. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is going to show you that, look, in all of us, that's good. There's some stuff that's ugly. And then there's some stuff that, might be bad. Scarface is going to show you what it looks like to just look. Sometimes you got to get it out of the mud. Sometimes you got to rise and grind. Now you can't go too far. And and Godfather's going to show you everything. I can't even tell you what Godfather's going to tell you. All right. We talk about the good. We talk about the ugly. Make sure you engage in. We just sitting here chatting on a Friday night. Just chill. My friend asked, what do I think is going to happen with the Cuban situation? In fact, so when I dropped the video on my predictions, I think the pendulum is going to swing back. My 15 years of smoking cigars, I see it swing to the left, swing to the right. It's going to swing back. I think the market is going to open up. I think maybe in about 6 months to a year, we're going to go back to getting Cuban cigars. The Cuban market is dependent right now on the Chinese growing middle class. Much love to the Chinese, but I'm just saying those markets are volatile. You can't build a whole industry based on those markets. The American market is where you just got to be if you want to have long, sustainable growth. So I do think the Cuban is going to come back to the American market. They're going to find a way. Yeah, I wish my wife smoked cigars. So again, I think one of the good things is, and I also mentioned this in the video that's coming out on my predictions. I think the cigar space is going to get better. I think there's going to be more inclusion. I think you're going to get more women, more younger people. You're going to get more. You're going to get more ethnicities. I think those things are growing, and cigar lounges that realize this, the cigar lounges that are more comfortable for women, are going to start benefiting from that. I think cigar lounges are going to realize, look, you didn't need the music. You didn't need to make it into a party scene. It's fine the way it is. And so I do think things are going to grow. All right. Let's wrap this up. Well, there's lots of good lessons in The Godfathers. Simplify, my brother. I'm a Marine. I got my Marine jacket on. All right. Oh, Goodfellas. Okay, that's a good one, my friend. So we got Scarface, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. We got Godfather and Goodfellas. Yeah, you got to add Goodfellas. I might do a whole show on Goodfellas. That's what's coming up. I get my ideas from the people. So we're going to do a whole show. We're going to do a whole show on Goodfellas. So I'm going to work out the whole technology. I wanted it to play a little bit different. Yeah, the Chinese own Cuba right now. But the Chinese tend to do that. So remember, I grew up in the Caribbean. All the hotels in the Caribbean, the Chinese own it. The Chinese tend to come into a space, but they don't stay there long term. So they bought up all the hotels and built all the hotels in the Caribbean and in Africa. But then they leave when their economy dips. And so I just think you gotta realize that. If you want that long, sustainable money, that's America. If we rock with you, you good forever. Look at Japan. Look at the Philippines. The places where China has gone in and supported African countries, Caribbean countries, their wealth isn't normally sustainable. All right. We talk about the good. We talk about the ugly. Let's talk about... Can we talk about the bad? Can we talk about the bad for a second? Is there some things in the cigar space that's bad? Now, we talk about some of the things that's ugly. There's some stuff that's ugly. It ain't necessarily bad, but it's ugly. It's like Tuco. Tuco was just different. My brother Louis be winning it. Louis, my guy. I'm gonna mess around and have Louis on the show. I know Louis, blood in, blood out. Man, blood in, blood out. Blood in, blood out. In fact, the guy who recently died, who was in Godfather. Help me, chat. Help me. The guy who recently died, who was in Godfather, is that the same guy that's in Blood In, Blood Out? I can't remember his name right now, but I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. He was in Godfather. He was the consigliere. I think he was in Blood In, Blood Out. Legendary guy. Just died, I think, yesterday. Yeah, I think it's Robert Duvall. There you go, Frat. Thanks for helping me out. Thanks for the help. You know, we help each other. I think Robert Duvall was in Blood In, Blood Out, and he was in Godfather. So there's some people out here that can help us, my friends. If we slow down enough and take the advice. What's some of the bad? Brother says the bad is when you bring your cigars in a travel case, but you forget your cutter. That's bad. That's kind of unfortunate. Daryl says he's also in colors. See, I know the chat. All I need is a chat. All I need is you guys. I don't need no special guests. So let's talk about. We're gonna look at the bad. Don't worry, I'm gonna work out the technology. Don't be making fun of me. I'm gonna work out the technology. Let's talk about the bad. Remember this guy? Remember this scene? He wakes this man up. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know how the sound is.
Any information?
This is Angel Eyes.
Too much. Say quite a bit that should interest you. I wanted to.
Angel Eyes had to get him some information
Such as
about Ben Carson.
Carson's hiding under is Bill Carson.
Angel Eyes gives him the information
Sure did.
that he gathered.
Keep talking.
Welcome back, Guns and Water. We just talking about the bad. There's some bad people out here.
Which just happened to
There's
this.
some bad.
That's my bit.
We just watching this scene
Not enough for you, eh?
about Ben Carson.
Well, you don't have to worry. You know
gonna
that
skip
I
ahead a
use
little
what
bit.
I'm paid. I always follow my job through.
Angel Eyes says,
You know that?
I always do the job I'm supposed to do. Now, Angel Eyes had ethics. If he got paid to do a job, he did it. You couldn't really trust him. That's the bad. That's the bad, my friends. That's the bad. Angel Eyes. He was a man of his word. But you couldn't really trust him too much. If Angel Eyes was all about himself. Angel Eyes was focused. Angel Eyes cared about Angel Eyes. Remember that scene where he beats up Tuco just to get the information out of him? You couldn't really trust Angel Eyes. You couldn't really trust him. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Like preachers would say, my second wind just came. My second wind just came. I feel like watching some movies with my friends. Can we do that for a second? Remember this final scene? So in the end, you got the good. You got the ugly. You got the bad. Who's gonna win? Sometimes you got to make a choice. Are you going to be good? Are you going to be bad? Or are you going to be ugly? This is what we do on a Friday night. With some scotch, some cigars. Because that's what life comes down to, my friends. You got to make a choice. Which one you going to be? There ain't no scene like this scene right here. Make sure hit a like off of this. Hit a like off of this. Go hashtag the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you rocking with the Rise and Grind show, we done giving you out the Rise and Grind pack. Just hashtag good, bad, and ugly. However you want to write it. And so with the good understood, watch me preach this. Watch me preach this. Watch me preach this right here. Make sure y'all hit that hashtag. Hashtag the good. Hashtag the bad. Hashtag the ugly. Whichever one you think you are. Watch me preach this. Watch me close this sermon. Watch me close this sermon on y'all. Didn't even write this sermon. Had a special guest tonight. Didn't show up. Watch me close this sermon. Everybody can't do this right here. Everybody can't do a show. Hour and 55 minutes. Improvised. You see, the thing about the good, he understood that, look, the ugly ain't too bad. He understood. Here's what he did. He took the bullets out of the gun of the ugly. He says, look, I'm going to silence you. I ain't got to worry about you. He understood this moment was going to come. He knew it was going to be us three faced off. He took the bullets out of the gun of the ugly. So when they had to face off, all he had to do was focus on the bad. See, I preach. Man, look at me preaching. Hashtag preach. Hashtag preach. Who else going to give you entertainment for 2 hours on a Friday night? Top of the head. No preparation. Just got off of work. I mean, it's so bad. I had my little questions I was going to ask my guest. I was like, I'm going to ask him these 5 questions. Like, I don't think he's showing up. But if you're talking truth and you live a little bit of life, you can spit the truth. You see, the thing about the good, us good in this world, we ain't got to worry about the ugly. The ugly just is. The ugly just made choices. Ain't nothing bad about them. They just made some choices. They'll be fine. What Clint Eastwood did, he said, I need to focus on the bad. He said, if I take the bad out, we're going to be good. And so, my friends, that's all you got to do in life. Don't worry about the ugly. You can dismantle the ugly. You can take the voice out of the ugly. You can take the bullets out of the ugly. You can silence the ugly. You don't have to get ugly yourself, but you got to keep your eyes on. You got to keep your eyes on. You got to keep your eyes on the bad. All right, I'm freestyling at this point. All right, we 2 hours in. I'm gonna wrap the show up. I got this cigar, smoking the Avowed. But we haven't even talked about this. What's some of the bad that you and I, the good, we got to handle this, right? What Clint Eastwood did in that scene, he said, look, I need to take the bad out. I ain't got to worry about the ugly. The ugly will always be with us. What's some of the bad that we got to take out? Notice in that scene, Clint Eastwood, he shot him, and then he shot him again. That's what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes it ain't even enough to just shoot him one time. And sometimes you got to make sure he did. And so, my friends, as we start to wrap up, and I'm gonna play this on the side. What's some of the bad that we got to take out? What's some of the bad stuff in the cigar space that you and I, we got to look at it. We got to see it. We got to analyze. We got to strategize. We got to take out some of the bad. So go ahead, put that in the chat as we wrap up. What's some of the bad? Some of the bad, I've been saying this. We got to get rid of the hype. Brother Darryl said the bad is when the good do nothing. I mean, that's everything that I'm saying as a channel. The fact that I can build an entire channel based on normalcy. My entire channel, the channel that got like over 12,000 subscribers, is based on being normal. A channel that says, look, how about no more hype? How about no more hype sales and the quick bucks? How about we just get back to being normal? As my brother said, the angel eyes, the bad, they thrive when you and I sit down and say nothing. And that's why I wanted to have Charles Wallenfoot on to say, hey, look, because this was one of the good brothers doing good content way back then. And then he decided, okay, he's going to stop. And then I said, oh, when he stopped, and guys like him, women like Cigar Vixen, when they stopped, it got bad. When they stopped, it got crazy. When they stopped, listen, all the stuff that we talking about and we live and experience now didn't happen 5-10 years ago. So as my brother said, when the good do nothing, the bad just go crazy. And so as Mark says, throwing a pretty band on a subpar cigar and charging $20, that's bad. That's bad. That kind of stuff didn't happen before. Brother says we got to take out gloating, worries, insecurity. Hate don't work, my friends. I see signs all the time says love will win. Hate doesn't work.
When you have to shoot, don't
Let's get
talk.
back to honesty. I mean, all this stuff we talking about. I love it. I love my first cigar video where I said the cigar lounge rules, and people says, oh man, what you talking about is just like regular life rules. This is like stuff you ought to do in life. It ain't just cigar lounge. It's like you should respect people wherever you go. You should be honest. You should have integrity. Like, again, I can't stress this enough. What you and I talk about is just, to us, is normal. Society has gone so bad, we're just doing normal stuff. Like if you say something like, my brother says, let's get rid of overpriced cigars. So we realized, we done the math, we done the economics. All the cigars cost the same thing. So now that that's understood, can we have some honesty? Can we stop overpricing them? And like I said with the last show, when you and I stand up and says, yeah, we're not going to take it. The brands have to listen. They can only listen. You and I are in charge. But it's like my brother said, when the good take their eyes off the bad win. Imagine that saying. Imagine, okay, I'm going to preach this. Imagine if Clint Eastwood Blondie was focused on the ugly. You know how they got these like alternative endings of movies? You saw how the good, the bad, and the ugly ended, right? The good was focused on the bad. He took him out. What if the good focused on the ugly and the ugly focused on the good and they took each other out and then the bad wins? Now, I'm breaking this down. What if we, and I think that sometimes that's what we do. We focus on the ugly. We focus on the thing that it ain't bad. It's just a little awkward. We put all of our attention on the things that don't really matter too much. And meanwhile, the bad is just winning. We focus in on stuff that don't make no sense. And meanwhile, while we focus on stuff that's just ugly, it ain't really bad, it's just ugly. While we were doing that, these brands came out of nowhere and was selling us $50 cigars like it was nothing. While we was doing this, while we was focused on the ugly, the cigar lounges turned into nightclubs. While we was focused on the ugly, they started selling us $500 lighters and humidors. While we was focused on the ugly, the bad just went crazy. And so, my friends, you have attended the Rise and Grind seminar for tonight. You haven't attended the virtual lounge. You have attended something, a 2-hour show. Listen, I don't know what kind of talent God blessed me with, But if a man can talk for 2 hours, entertain you, educate you, and inspire you, and ain't none of it was planned, I think you ought to hit a like button off of that. I didn't come to talk about none of this stuff tonight. But we here, I'm not going to waste our time. Let's just be good. Let's just see what's ugly. And let's just take out the bad. As my friend said, I can't say it any better. The worst thing you and I could do is be good and let the bad win. We saw how the movie ended. Blondie took out Angel Eyes. And then afterwards, here's what he did. Yeah, I'm going to close the sermon. Remember I said earlier, these 3 guys were trying to get this money, this gold. Blondie could have took all the gold for himself. You got to see the movie, my friends. You got to see the movie. I wish I could show you the ending of it. But in the movie, Blondie could have took all the gold for himself. He could have been selfish. He could have said, oh, I got it. I win. It's for me. No, you can't leave. I'm closing the doors. Ushers, hold the doors. Nobody leave. I appreciate you, my friends. Let me just wrap this up and say this. The way that movie ends, Blondie took half the gold. He gave it to Tuco. He took the other half for himself. And then he saved Tuco. He could have took it all for himself. But in the end, he got rid of the bad. He gave the ugly some. Gave him half. Gave him a little bit. He took the rest. He rode off into the sunset. And so, my friends, that's what you and I got to do. Stop focusing on the ugly. The ugly is fine. But we do got to take out the bad. And then we ride off into the sunset. All right, look, I didn't work on the sermon close. Like I didn't work on it. So it didn't close the way it's supposed to close. Look, I'm done. 2 hours, 7 minutes. We did it. We got it done. I gave you entertainment on a Friday night. I'm giving you entertainment on a Tuesday night. We coming right back on Tuesday. We're giving our stuff. We gave out the bottles. Cigar Empire, you got a bottle. We did a hashtag, the good. Giving out the Rise and Grind pack. We came. We did our thing. Check out the content that's coming out. We're doing content for us. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. I don't take it for granted. And so, to the good, to the bad, to the ugly, to my friends, to the new guys, look, we are what we need. This space should be different. But we got to normalize some good stuff. All right, that's all I got. Nothing else. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Hit share on this. Yeah, you're going to see, okay, we got 30 people, 40 people watching. Let's get this up to like 1,000, at least 800. Get this up to 800. Hit the hype button. Hit the hype button. The hype button works. Hit the hype button. Hit the share button. Make sure you hit like. Keep hitting like. Hit like 3 more times on the way out. We put a lot of work into this. There's a lot of mental stuff that's got to go on when you're doing a show that ain't planned for. Hopefully I made it look easy. But we had a good time doing it with you. So if you got some benefit out of this, like, comment, subscribe. But most importantly, rise and